What's up, everybody? We're live with Troy and Nick from the All-American Reptile Plant Expo. By the way, typing that into every one of my live titles, you could have helped me out a little bit.
Like when the name kind of came about, we were discussing names. Like it was like, oh, that actually sounds really good. But then, like, you go to type it, it's like, oh, why did we do that? Like, it takes forever for me to. Like,
did you get stamps for your mail? You didn't have to write it out.
I'm gonna have to, yeah.
Well, wait, who has mail?
Yeah,
I don't know, like, a flyer. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Get one to get one.
Okay, so guys, on the live, Nick and Troy are still working. Sorry, it was a little bit delayed, but the fact is they're running a big expo and they're cool enough to take a few minutes. So we're gonna do kind of a quick fire thing and maybe 10 minutes that you guys get back to it.
That sounds great.
Sounds good.
So we'll just jump right to it. The weather, it's snowing like hell out there. I know you guys have put a whole lot of work into it. You got the show kicked off. What's your feeling? What are you feeling like right now?
I mean, I feel absolutely great. I mean, you definitely wake up to these things not knowing what you're really going to get, right? There's online sales and things, so you can like judge some of it, but there's so much of it you can't. And I feel like you wake up, it's Saturday, you find out there's going to be 3 or 5 or 8 inches of snow, and then you're like, is that going to hurt it? So I think a lot of things go through your head, but none of that really mattered.
Yeah.
It really was a perfect turnout so far. Like I always think promoters, you know, whether you're biased or something, but like I think I'm a pretty honest guy. Yeah. And this has been great.
Okay, cool.
I'm really in a good mood.
Yeah, I agree. I've lived in Colorado my whole life, so like I've seen blizzards where people are like, I'm going to reptile still. So we had, of course, you have those people that didn't know we were indoors. So they're like, oh,
that was interesting.
Oh, the rain, is it not canceled? And it's like, gosh, we're inside.
Yeah.
We had multiple messages from, is your show canceled?
Oh, no.
What? For the rain. What? No.
Yeah.
No, so
but we're indoors.
We're thrilled with the turnout. You never know. I mean, most of the stuff we do is like, we don't see anything. No one's responding like, hey, I'm coming. And then if they don't want to prepay, we really don't know.
Push all your chips in because you got to pay for the venue. You've got all the overhead. You got all the tables, all the lost sleep, marketing, blah, blah, blah. So you've already got your money in the pot, and like you got 2.5 days to make it and make it work.
Yeah, you know, and to add to that, like for Nick and I, right off the bat, and I should say Nick, Lauren, and Lisa, we decided, I think, right off the bat that, you know, every dollar that really came in from the vendors and sponsorships, I mean, that all went right back out, right? So it was radio ads and you know, billboards. And so you do take a gamble. Like it's a lot of work, and like, just like vending, you've heard me talk about vending, you know, it's a lot of marketing value and sales are kind of second. I think this is different. Like from looking at a different way, like sales are important, right? Like you want to put a little money in your pocket for all the work you've done.
Of course.
And it's a gamble. It's a big gamble.
And it's a whole, I mean, this is months and months, if not a year of work. So it's not just like, hey,
we packed it into 2 months.
Yeah.
Hey, fast.
Yeah. let me get a little bit of money to make the weekend worthwhile. You need some money to make months worthwhile. Yeah. So I think every startup or every vision has like a pro forma. And obviously we're not going to get, you know, proprietary here, but are you at the pro forma? Are you exceeding what your minimum, like, okay, we'll exhale if we get to X?
I kind of said that I wouldn't dangle from one of these power cords if we just had a good show turnout today, and I'm not dangling from the power cord.
All right, we'll leave that one there.
Yeah. So it is. It's so stressful, and that's a joke, and not to joke about the stuff, but it is a joke. But I feel like we're above and beyond maybe what you expected with what's all going on snow-wise and things like that. Good. I feel really good.
All right.
Yeah. No, I think my expectations, I set them in a medium ground. Like we had heard a lot of numbers of, this show does this show does that, this does this. And I was like, okay, that number is too many. Like we're not, our building isn't big enough to be like, yeah, let's have 15,000 people through the door. Right. But I feel like our number today hit a spot that we're like, okay, we're higher than like what we usually see.
Okay.
I also think from a vendor standpoint, I don't think we ever truly know, right? So if you go to every vendor at 10 Leader, whatever, Super Show, wherever we're at, and say how many people you thought were there, 20,000, 10,000,
Right.
you get so many different numbers, and none of them are real because you don't really know. And I think if I went to the vendors right now, you'd get multiple different numbers, and I bet a lot of them are higher.
Yeah.
Because it just looks busy, and it is busy. But like that's been eye opening too. Is just I'm like, oh man, there's 10,000 people here right now, and that's not the truth. That's how I would have thought, right?
Yeah.
Like as a vendor, I'd be like, it's so busy, the aisles are packed, and so yeah, it's been really kind of interesting to see this side of it versus the vendor side.
Yeah. So from my restaurant days, we always had an expression like I could, as the food and beverage director, I could walk in and say, the room feels good, or I could know it was a shit show, disaster.
Yeah.
In a sec, just from body language, anxiety in the room, I could know what was happening. And I got to say, the room feels good. I'm not seeing a super, I know we don't like to talk about this, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of the petting zoo crowd.
Nice. Good.
And in quick, I keep up relationships. Quick talks to probably 8 or 10 people. Everybody has sold something.
Yeah.
And several of them, I've seen the sold price tags, and I know that's not, they could have negotiated down, but
Sure.
some of those numbers
they're moving
started
some.
high enough
Yeah,
that even
yeah.
if they negotiated down, they're moving. So
They're moving some.
I feel like there's business in the room, and the air, like I say, the room feels good. So congratulations to you guys on that.
Yeah.
Before I get you out of here, what's the one biggest surprise that you've learned that you just had no idea? I'm guessing you haven't done shows before, and you jumped in and you were like, I did not see that coming, man.
Yeah, off the bat, I'm not real sure. I mean, I came from like the photography trade show world, so that's a little different because
Sure.
it's not sales driven. It's all about showing, products. I don't know. I think the biggest shock, maybe today at least, is that people are willing to drive through. I had a guy come in, it was a complete whiteout. 5 people got in a wreck in front of him.
Wow.
And he was like, "But I was making the show."
Yeah.
And you're like, thank you.
Damn,
Glad you're here
yeah,
safe.
right.
But that was a shock somewhat to me. So I'm thankful.
Yeah.
For that. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I know the radios are beeping.
Sorry, my radio's
all
going
right.
off. I'm just gonna shut that down a little bit.
It's okay. I know the radios are beeping and that you guys are in the middle of your day at work. I'm going to let you guys get back to it. We'll see another one of these in September.
You'll
Is that
see
correct?
September 7th and 8th.
September 7th and 8th.
And then we also have April locked in for the most part for next year as well.
Yep. April dates
Yeah.
are locked in.
Yeah.
September dates are wishy-washy for 2025. This venue itself is usually booked like 5 years out. So for
Yeah,
us
we
to
got
even
lucky.
receive 2 dates in 1 year, the lady was like, "That's a fine intervention." So
All right. Well, congratulations to you. I'm so happy for you, and not to be patronizing, but I'm proud to see you looking a year and a half out rather than let me try it, see how it goes. Like that's you gotta be in without a
Yes.
net, and I'm happy for you guys. I'm proud of you. So
Yeah.
thanks for the
Appreciate
time.
Yeah, we
Congratulations.
appreciate that you're here,
Yeah.
and like, and obviously Robin being a friend of ours and a sponsor of ours, like Redline obviously was a lot. Me and Nick turned to Robin right off the bat and asked a lot of questions, and so happy that you're here doing this with him. And,
Yeah.
yeah,
My pleasure. I thought I was getting Colorado in the springtime, but I'll try again in July.
this is Colorado in the springtime. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Iowa, Minnesota summers, where we can go through like winter and everything in fall or something. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Take care.
Hey,
Get
thanks,
back to
buddy.
work.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
time. I know it's at a
Yeah,
premium.
thanks, buddy.
So, cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody. Next show, about an hour with Robin Markland from Redline Shipping here at the All American Reptile and Plant Expo. Cheers, everybody. See you in just a little bit.